Well, each day it's something different. So Monday nights I have hip hop, which is dance, and Big Brothers Big Sisters after school. And I also do 4-H. I have a 4-H group that I meet with about twice out of a month. So it'd be 2 weeks in a row. And there's also board meetings that fall on a Monday. So whenever like there's a board meeting every 2 weeks, then I go to the board meeting, and then there will be the 4-H after school. Then Tuesdays are devoted to karate and dance again. Wednesdays tend to be my free days, other than choir rehearsal at church. Thursdays karate again, and then Friday is devoted to like volunteering and such things at school for different games and such. And Saturday and Sundays are my work days.
I remember her sort of being, I think she was one of the more friendly young ladies. You know, she was sort of outgoing and encouraging other young girls to do different things. They have different exercises, and one of the things that I'm thinking this was what I remembered. We go through the magazines, and we think, young girls always want to reflect how they look in the magazine. So we ask them to cut out different pictures of different models that they see. And sometimes, that could be a harsh reality, because young girls are always trying to see themselves like being very thin, or, having perfect makeup, perfect hair, and that kind of thing. So, but as I think about it, I think Diamond sort of was a realist even at that time, and sort of cut out things that were perhaps more reflective of.
In National Honor Society, I volunteer we have to get a minimum of 4 hours a month. I'm working towards the Presidential Service Award, in which I'm working to get the 100. So you earn the 4, and yes. So from May of 2015 to May of this year, and I'm working towards you get the 4 minimum hours required, and then you would do extra hours to help.
Well, it was in the newspaper for one thing. Yes, it was in the newspaper. And then I was talking with her mother one evening, and she said that somebody was going to nominate her. I said, well, I'd be glad to nominate her. I didn't know that you only expected maybe one person to do it. So I looked online and saw the information, and just kind of proceeded from there.
We talk about different ideas that we should do in the school. We do middle school visits. We do high school exchange. We also just speak about, what we would like done in the schools.
Yeah, I don't know any other students who have been the student representative. I can't remember if they were doing that when I was working or not, but this is the first student that I've known personally who was selected to be in that position. And then hearing her goals for that position, I thought, she's going to be a very busy person.
Unity is for trying to bring all 4 of the high schools in Springfield together, and trying to promote friendships and alliances between the different clubs. What we did was we didn't invite a whole lot of people or just open it up. We invited certain clubs. We did like National Honor Society, art club, Spanish club, student council from each high school, and we tried to do one club that none of the high schools had to come to the Unity Day, and we also did clubs that everyone had at their high school. So it was the National 4-H Youth Conference. It was geared around nutrition, because I'm a teen teacher, and I represented the Springfield area 4-H and going, and it was at the National 4-H Center in Chevy Chase, Virginia, which is right outside DC. And we had different workshops in which we learned about water, stress, how to eat healthy snacks, healthy meals you can prepare, and how to incorporate that in our community when we meet with younger children, how to incorporate that. We basically learned how to, live healthier lives through mental, physical activity, and emotionally how to cope with stress and yourself, your body image, and things like that.
because her parents set very high standards for academic achievement. They don't tolerate nonsense, and Diamond knows that. So Diamond is one of these young people who respects her parents. So respected her parents lets her know that she has to lead a certain kind of life.
I mentor a third grade girl, and we do homework for about 15 minutes because that's the what's required. They do homework and then they play games. We play games for about 45 minutes until the program's over, and we talk about her day. We do surveys, just to see the progress in her schoolwork or her attitude or whatever she may be having problems with, and we just talk about the weekend, have just casual conversation. Tell jokes, and ask about her day.
It's really important that our society understand that everyone has talents and can contribute to how we function.
She's such a respectful young person that she would never say or do anything disrespectful to an adult or even to another person, because she has just been raised to respect herself and to respect other people, other students. She's just a very kind-hearted person. So, yes.
Right now I'm involved mainly with teen mentoring. It's just a program that our social worker runs, and she finds high schoolers that are willing to volunteer, like their study hall, or I take an early bird class, so I get out an hour early, so I go over to the elementary school 3 days a week and just kind of tutor them and help them with what they need, or just kind of act as a reward sometimes.
Max is a tremendous student across the board. He's a fantastic athlete. He's a wonderful student, but he's also just an amazing member of our small community. He's involved in so many clubs and organizations, and he's a leader. He really responds well and interacts well with the kids in our school. So he's a great example for them, and he's just a wonderful guy all around.
It depends. Some days I go to kindergarten classrooms, and other days I go to second graders. So with the kindergartners, I work especially with this one kid who's kind of got a rougher home life. So I kind of act as a male role model for him, and a lot of the time he has some kind of behavior issues. So if he's having a good day, I'm more of a reward. Then we'll get to go play a game, or we'll play practice like academic, like spelling or something like that for half an hour, and then we'll go get his reward time. And then I'm the teacher that I work for, or kind of mentor with. I met her through a Make-A-Wish Foundation kind of thing, where there's this Down syndrome girl, and her favorite movie was Frozen, and they dressed up a bunch of people, so I was Kristoff, and that's kind of how we got hooked up.
I think the most magical one that I can remember last year, our second grade does a giving unit in December, and we chose a third grader in our district that has Down syndrome, and we put this Frozen party together as part of, we were raising money for Make-A-Wish, so we put this Frozen party together for her, and it turned into this big, huge thing. And I remember again going to Max and saying, "What do you think about dressing up as Kristoff?" And he was like, for Marin, this girl who he knew, he said, "Absolutely." So not only did he dress up, but he went and met her in her classroom, like showed up like a prince and walked her out, and they had like these swords up in the air, and he walked her through this tunnel and loaded her into this horse-drawn carriage. I mean, it looked right out of a Disney movie. And again, just completely committed and kind and rode through town in this carriage with her, and it was just this totally magical day for her, not only for her, but all the other kids still talk about, remember when he came and he was dressed and he took her out. I mean, so that for me, that was a super magical moment.
It seems like a lot now, but yeah, it was Halloween week over at the elementary school. So my aunt had this yellow man costume, a hat, and Curious George and everything. So I dressed up and went into their classroom and kind of surprised them all and read a couple of books to them. And then even like now, a lot of the preschoolers especially recognize me. Like, we'll be like lining up for bus lines. They'll be like, "Hey, Curious George, man. And it's like, where's George at?" So it's fun.
Absolutely. They love Max so much that I can use him as an incentive. They want to make him proud of them. They want him to be excited, and he's so good at that. You know, when he comes to volunteer in the classroom, they will run up to him and say, "You know, you got 15 out of 15 on my spelling test." And you know, it's almost like they're as excited to tell Max as they are to tell their parents. And
Yeah, there's some pretty funny stories. My mom's the speech teacher at the elementary school, so sometimes it confuses the kids that she's my mom and stuff. And the first week I was there, this kindergartner that I work with was really confused. I'm like, "Miss Tracy's my mom, you know, I'm her son," and stuff. He goes, "Wait, you date Miss Tracy?" And I'm like, no, she's my mom. She goes, "Do you kiss her too?" I'm like, "Well, she has kissed me before, but not like you're thinking." But yeah, so little stories like that just make it even better. Well, the example of my brothers really just kind of set the ball in motion for me, but I don't know, it's just something that I thought would be fun and a good experience, and it's been a good experience, and I've been lucky enough to get a couple of my friends, guy friends, to get involved with it too, so it's just a rewarding experience, and it's fun also.
So my internship, it's longer than internships they usually have there because they'll have students from college who are only there for a month. But I'm there for the entire school year. So they have me doing more tasks that an employee might do. I've done a lot of research, and I'm in the education department, so I've done a lot of research for exhibits that we're going to be displaying in the summer, and some displays that we're going to have at the birthday parties that we're holding for each of the Lincoln kids. And I've done, there's the Civil War Tech, which is combining science and history at the museum for kids, and I made one of the games that they did on one of the days they did it, which was like a huge board game. Well, my junior year, I reached out to the service learning teacher at my school and told her that I wanted to do some sort of service learning. I didn't know what at that point. And she said only seniors could do it, which made me kind of sad. But so as time went on, she found some stuff for me. The first thing we planned on was the Illinois State Museum, and they actually had gotten me in there, but of course the museum closed. So we looked at our other options, and the Presidential Museum was willing to take me in.
So Janie, actually, it's pretty unusual because she came to me in May of her junior year and told me that she was interested in working in museums someday, and that she wanted to sign up for service learning and do an internship at a local museum. And I've been doing this for years, the service learning, but she is the first student who came to me the year before, and we got it all arranged. I mean, she signed up, I got her an interview, and everything was arranged so that she could start an internship in museum work.
I really liked doing research where there's no research that's been done on like an artifact before, because it has to all be original and it has to be credible. I don't know, I just like research.
I was just impressed with her from the very beginning, from that first meeting her junior year. And then after she started working on her internship at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum, I just saw a level of excellence that it was wonderful. She's just fun to be around. I've enjoyed meeting her. I love talking to her. And she has, she sort of already has an older spirit to her, an older heart.
Part of the reason why I did service running there was because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Exactly. I knew that I liked history, and I think the internship kind of affirmed that, because my interest in history was only sort of recent, and it kind of helped me discover, what parts of working in a museum I would like, and that kind of thing. I think it's important to have historians because, like I said, with the math and science, of course, those kinds of things help the community and society in general, but I think things like history and humanities add a more human element to things, and I think that's important to stay in touch with. But there's that event every month, the Civil War Tech, when kids ages 8 to 12 come in and learn about science and history during the Civil War. And my month was trains. And basically, my supervisor just said, okay, so here's the information about Civil War Tech, and do something with trains. And that's all she told me. So all I knew was that I had to create some sort of activity. And the board game was kind of like, it was North versus South, but we didn't tell them that because the North had a lot more railroads during the Civil War than the South, and that helped them a lot to win the war. So basically, we had like a huge classroom, and we put tape on the ground as the board, and we had like cutouts of explosions and mines and factories and those kinds of things. And we had tasks for the kids to do, and then eventually they ended up like blowing up each other's train tracks, and I guess they had a lot of fun.
Well, freshman, I do a lot of different activities with school and outside of school. I'm actually part of an organization for girls 11 to 21. It's called the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls. There's assemblies all over the place. There's one in Jacksonville. There's one in Springfield. We're pretty good friends with a few of the people in Springfield. We do different service projects. As we're the advisor, I'm like the president of our assembly. I get to pick a charity for my year, and I chose the No Kill Animal Shelter, Protecting Animal Welfare Society in Jacksonville. We go there, we volunteer, help out with the animals, we do different fundraisers, raise money for the dogs and the cats and everything, and it's a lot of fun. Outside of that, I help with a quadriplegic man named David Marshall. He's very nice and kind, and he's into writing songs, and I help him do some of his videos and stuff. Other than that, mostly just volleyball.
She's just really, I mean, if you need something done, you can send her to do it, or she'll jump in and do it without hesitation. And not everything there is cute, fluffy kittens and puppies. There's some nasty aspects to it. There's poop involved, and sometimes we get dogs in that are in pretty bad shape and smell absolutely horrible, and she doesn't think anything about jumping right in and giving them a bath no matter what she's going to smell like, which is funny.
I originally started volunteering with my mom when I was 11 or 12. Been doing it for almost 4 years now. So I was very young when I started. With Paws, it's pretty easy. Last year, I think I racked up over 2,000 hours of community service. Yeah. You don't realize it when time goes by so fast. I love them a lot. I actually have 2 dogs at home. One of them was a Paws dog. He's a gigantic baby. It seems like every time I go, I want to take a different animal home, and my mom has to remind me, no, we can't have any more. But I truly love them. My favorite part of volunteering is getting to meet all the different animals and helping them get homes, and the look on the families' faces whenever they get to take home their dog. It's pretty amazing.
She's very focused on what she wants, and she's not the type to let something get in her way and stop her from accomplishing what she wants to accomplish.
Biggest responsibility I think I have is I'm one of the only, there's a few of us that they trust to take people back to meet the animals, because you have to have very good knowledge on the animals and know kind of what you're doing to fit the family with the dog and make sure everybody's together and everything. And I feel like it's a very big responsibility that they put on me, and I enjoy and greatly appreciate all of the responsibility that they give me. And it's nice just to help the families meet their dogs and know that the dog is going to go home and be with the family for a very long time.
She deals directly with the customers. She's there often enough that she knows the dog's personalities, the dog's likes, dislikes. She's able to take a customer out if they're looking for a small, calm lap dog. She already knows the dog's personalities and is really good about matching up dogs with people.
One of my most treasured memories is probably when we had this dog. His name is Nacho. He was there for 3-ish years off and on. He was gone for 6 months to a year at one point, and he kept coming back, and he was too energetic, and he was too big for the kids, and we could not get him adopted out for anything. And then early December, my brother came from Indiana, and he saw Nacho, and I have to have this dog. This dog is amazing. And it's just nice knowing that a dog that was so hard for us to find a family for, it's just nice knowing that he's still in the family and knowing that he's going to a good home. That's probably one of my favorite memories, yeah. I really enjoy the stuff that I'm doing now, but I definitely will accept any opportunities in the future that I can for more volunteer work. Ever since I was younger, I've wanted to do stuff for the community. Any job that I pursue in the future will have something to do with the greater good and helping others.